there. Good morning.
Hi.
I can see you're still drying your hair, not because you just got out of the shower, because it's raining all over Louisiana.
That towel up just a little bit more.
Good God Almighty.
We've told you this is two-way TV, damn it.
Yeah, welcome. I'm Bill Profita.
Hi, I'm Kevin Gallagher.
Glad to have you with us for Exiles TV. We have a lot to talk about today. You've probably seen or heard in the news there is going to be more stimulation for your continued pleasure. We're going to be getting some checks. We're going to be getting some PPP. We're going to be getting a little bump in Social Security, all these kind of things. The question is, when you look at it in total, you remember members of Congress are saying we're mortgaging our grandchildren's future.
Apparently we don't care about our grandchildren.
I don't. I have none. How about you?
I don't have any grandkids.
You know what I say?
Give me that money.
They mortgaged my future and yours. We're still paying the FET when we buy automobile batteries or tires to finance the Korean War, which was a tie, by the way. We didn't win, which hacks me off even more. But what does...
Let you digress.
What does this mean to the markets, to the monetary supply, and to the consumers? We already have people facing their first week of unemployment compensation without the $600 additional, and they're saying, you know what, going to be hard to make our bills. And this is people who lost their jobs through no fault of their own, basically because of government-ordered shutdowns at their place of business.
Government always knows best, Bill.
That's right. Now, there's probably going to be, as Jill Schlesinger, CBS financial analyst, said, there's probably going to be a compromise. The original was 6. They're talking 2. It'll probably be 400. Oh, and by the way, did you know in Louisiana, our highest weekly unemployment compensation...
$247 a week.
Which is exactly $160 less than the national average. So we don't pay squat here, even though your employers are paying into this insurance policy for you.
I always think it's funny that you could be a person that was making $125,000 a year, suddenly find yourself unemployed, and you go and sign up for unemployment. It's like $247. That's it. It's like, $247 won't keep my SUV running.
$247 doesn't do much.
It doesn't really, but it helps.
And you only get 26 weeks of it, by the way. So we're going to talk.
When I found myself unemployed a little over a year ago, I took a look at it, took a look at the household finances, and I didn't sign up. I just said to hell with it.
Yeah, but now they're looking at a plan for looking at, instead of a whole dollar amount, an amount that would be 70% of your pre-unemployment salary, including what the state puts in. But that's going to be difficult as well, because that's going to be a whole hell of a lot more money. But anyway, Helen Graf with Graf Financial is an expert in finance and consumer finances and the markets, and she'll give us an idea of what it means to you. And if you have questions, the thing is, we hear the economists talk about this on a level right way up here. Perhaps we should talk a little bit on your level, my level. What does this mean to me? And talking about things like what happens long term if you have to pull money out of your IRAs prematurely, or your 401ks, or you're unable to save or invest anymore. That has an effect as well. So we will talk with Helen about that. And in the second hour, cops are under attack both physically, verbally, and financially right now. It's gotten a little heated in Baton Rouge, and the International Union of Police, the IUP, has weighed in. Yeah, I know. It sounds funny. I think I would change that.
No, that's not what I was laughing about.
You don't like the IUP?
No, I just think, now this...
We're an IUD with a gun, the IUP.
This is what the local news stations cover. They don't cover the fact that we had a Back the Blue rally at the state capitol this weekend with thousands of people there, completely peaceful. They cleaned up all their trash. It was all to show support for the police. Was any of our 3 news stations there to cover it?
No, but the Advocate was, and good for them.
No, the Advocate got sent sent some photos.
Yeah, well, they covered it. It was in their print edition.
Yep. But, and that's what the IUP is upset about, is it because at this Back the Blue rally, guess who wasn't there? Police chief. Guess who wasn't there? The mayor. So now this makes news that the mayor and the police chief are coming under fire.
Well, and that is one element that we have to look at. The other is these cops are still making less than the Southern average, less than the national average, and there is no pay raise in the offing.
Yep.
So we will talk with former chief of police and current executive director of CALEF, Pat Englade. You've seen him before. He'll be with us. Both of our guests will be taking your calls as well. A brief break. Then we will continue on Exiles TV. Stick around.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
State Treasurer John Schroeder, encouraging you to visit latreasury.com to search for your unclaimed property money. During this pandemic, we've returned money to businesses, local governments, and people across Louisiana.
New Orleans Habitat for Humanity found unclaimed property with the Louisiana Treasury.
Audubon Nature Institute has unclaimed property.
I found unclaimed property with the Louisiana Department of Treasury.
We still have over $800 million. This is your money. Claim it.
You're doing a wonderful job. No, after you, Alphonse.
Oh, no, you.
You're supposed to call me Gaston. Welcome back,
After
Exiles.
you, Gaston.
Exiles TV. Trouble in Paradise. Who's one of the most popular TV talk show hosts in America today?
Kevin Gallagher.
No.
Oh.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Ellen DeGeneres.
Trouble with Ellen. A beloved national figure.
Ellen is being called a racist.
Yep. An internal investigation into the Ellen DeGeneres show following numerous accounts of workplace problems. I'm going to skip through some of the chaff here. Blah, 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 blah. BuzzFeed published a report alleging racism and intimidation on the show. Third-party consultant not immediately clear. Both companies underscored the commitment to provide an environment where employees can flourish. A spectrum of accused racist behavior from microaggressions.
I love that term.
To jokes about mistaking two black female employees with the same hairstyle. Oh my God. That's horrible. As well as criticism of statements allegedly made to another staffer by executive producer Ed Glavin. I have heard, not anything racial, but I have heard that it's a very different Ellen that people encounter at the show, on the set, when the cameras aren't rolling.
Hey, she's angry. You can see why.
Yeah.
You lost me in an internal investigation of Ellen.
Yeah.
The visual on that.
I have read a lot of accounts that say that
investigation.
Ellen, she's so sweet and so nice on camera, but one thing she hates is eye contact, and she doesn't like any of her staff or any of the crew to make eye contact with her at all. So that means you got a bunch of people, they see Ellen coming, they've got at the floor, or, nice ceiling tile we have here. These are the sorts of peculiarities sometimes that set in when people become famous.
I just hate this stuff. I'm not an Ellen fan. I'm one of the people, maybe I'm one of the very few, I don't think she does a good show. I think her show is very childish. It's like a 5th grade talent contest every day, okay? I don't care. But we are truly heartbroken and sorry to learn that even one person in our production family has had a negative experience. It's not who we are, and it's not who we strive to be, and not the mission we have set. You know what? Again, we need to bring up the clip from last week where I said, you pay for this, you own it, you raise hundreds of millions of dollars that go into it, say, did you like the paycheck? Then shut up!
Someone explained to me what microaggressions are. I mean, I guess I must have missed a meeting in 21st century speak, but what the hell are microaggressions?
That's when I say, hey, does your wife have long hair too? That's a microaggression.
I don't understand microaggressions.
Oh, that's when they really don't have anything on you, but they say, that Profita, he's nasty.
When I hear microaggressions, I hear perceived slights. That's what I hear. It's like they might not have meant a damn thing by it, but you certainly perceived it.
Well, again,
bad.
Is it something for federal investigation if she confused two same gender, same race people that have similar hairstyles? I mean, if you're sitting like we are, you got lights in your eyes. I can hardly see our next guest who is sitting 30 feet away from me. I
see her outline, but
yeah. I can't
make out her lovely face.
You're going to go with
I'm
that?
sorry, is that a microaggression?
I mean, you're going to go with that?
I think that's I think that one especially is ridiculous. So you got two employees that resemble each other right down to their hairstyle, and you have trouble. It's like, I guess someone is saying, "Are you saying we all look alike?"
That's exactly what they're saying.
And
why doesn't she say from this distance? Yeah.
This is part of the problem we have here is people that are so willing to put words in your mouth and intent in your brain or in your heart.
You know the real problem we have here is that people like this goof who makes millions of dollars being a goof and probably pays them a whole lot more than they're worth on the open market, puts up with this crap. That's when she needs to say, you don't like it? Haul your ass!
Now, I'm looking at this on WBRZ's website, and I always love to scroll down and look at some of the comments.
Oh, God, I can't do that. It kills me.
One person says, I love it when liberals eat their own. It's like if you run out of conservatives to attack, let's go after the liberals. Another person says, good, get this POS off the air and kill her career. I don't like the cancellation culture that we have here where people say, oh, they shouldn't work anymore in Hollywood. Blah, blah, blah.
Why, and again, you open up for comments, you open up for all kinds of things, but why doesn't anybody say, you know what, we've seen her corporate tax filings, she pays people a decent amount of money. Many of them say, oh, it's a dream job. I'm working on the #1 daytime show in television. It's wonderful. Why don't anybody just say, don't care? Don't care about your whiny ass little complaint. If you don't like Ellen,
quit.
Give back your last paycheck and haul your butt.
Yeah.
She's not responsible to you or to the general public for any of this crap.
I've worked in environments where I had complaints, and I brought my complaints through the chain of command to the proper person, and by what I thought were legitimate complaints, on more than one occasion were met with, there's other places you can work, and that's generally my attitude. I think what it is some people, because she projects this niceness on the air, and it's phony. Come on, nobody's that nice.
This is a shakedown, pure and simple.
Mm-hmm. She's got deep, deep pockets. She's one of the highest paid TV personalities there are as far as daytime, and somebody wants to make a quick buck off of it.
Probably one of the most successful television host production companies ever was Johnny Carson. And no one had an enjoyable experience working for Johnny Carson. He was a slave master. He was like a volcano.
Because he wanted a perfect product. Is there
And
anything wrong
you
with
know
that?
what? And he said, it's my money. I want it done my way.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? You never heard about this thing because I'm working for Johnny Carson.
Mm-hmm.
And his money was pretty damn good.
Paychecks never bounced.
Tell me that Ellen DeGeneres' congressman is a racist and makes racial jokes, then we'll talk.
Okay.
Ellen, and
The only reason we're talking about is because Ellen's from Metairie.
I'm not a fan of her show. I think it's crap. I really do. But you know what? I think this is even a bigger, smellier, festering pile of crap.
Can I also say she's a lousy dancer? Time to take another commercial
She doesn't
break.
dress really well either.
Nah. Let's take another commercial break.
And who does
Take care
her
of some
hair?
business. No one does her hair.
Well, then she ought to get her money back from nobody.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystonecountryClub.com.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to CALEF High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
So glad you're with us.
Welcome back.
A reminder, there will be a replay at 10 o'clock tonight in place of your local 10 o'clock news.
Yeah, if you're tired of the news, man, 10 o'clock, tune us in.
Or if you're tired of the newscasters, because we speak English.
We have no agenda.
No,
We also don't have anybody behind the scenes telling us what we have to say on camera. Down.
Watch what you want. But no, we're on at 10 o'clock on this very channel in place of the local news, and you can see it all over again, which means what I'm about to tell you
might be old news.
Might be old news, but look, this weather system that has been parked over us that is the tail end of Hannah, we are going to have scattered heavy showers and storms becoming more widespread throughout the afternoon. And this is from the Texas border all the way through New Orleans metro area, all the way to at least the lower Mississippi border, by Woodville and all that. And probably to about 40 or 50 miles north of I-10. We're going to have, again, probably a record low temperature for this time of year. Yesterday,
yeah, I was going to say,
Baton Rouge, it only
on the
reached
plus
82.
side,
Yeah. The air conditioning
on the plus side, it's quite temperate outside. But yeah, we're under flash flood watch right now for just about all of the capital area, and expected to keep it that way until sometime in mid-evening. So.
Oh yeah, and we've got watch boxes in Acadiana and the coastal parishes, Jefferson and Lower Jefferson, Plaquemine Parish. They've got watch boxes as well. And what we're starting to see now is we're starting to see the water accumulating on the roads. And as an example, today on I-10 between Baton Rouge and Lafayette, somebody lost control of a tanker truck and turned it on its side.
Oh yeah, that was a mess.
And I-10 West is expected to be closed for at least another 2 or 3 hours.
The last I had on 10 is that there is one lane open, 10 West, headed to Lafayette, but they are going to have to close both lanes when it comes time to get that truck out.
Flash flood warning, by the way, for our friends watching us in Point Capee Parish. Yep, you're under it. For our friends in St. Tammany Parish. Yep, you're under it. East Baton Rouge and the entire metro area. And then for the New Orleans area all the way down to Grand Isle, our friends in Houma and Thibodaux and Morgan City, you are under a flash flood warning. Lafayette is not at this time. So this is just a messy, messy system. Was it raining when you got out of your car before you came into the studio?
See.
Did Marty meet you with the umbrella as he's supposed to?
No, it was just sprinkling at the time, but then it started to come down again very heavily.
I had those little tiny needles of rain that were whipped by the wind. It was not a good experience.
Meanwhile, our 9th tropical depression of the season has formed. I'm looking at the track on this storm. Of course, you never know this far out because it's way out there, way past, like the Leeward Islands somewhere in there. It's in the central Atlantic. But its projected track at this time makes it look like it might be another one of those East Coast storms. Go right up the coast of Florida.
That would be okay with me.
Of course, it needs the slip, twitch, the cup, and the lip. I like the name on this storm if it gets one. It's going to be Isaias.
What happened to Gonzalo?
Gonzalo died last weekend. You weren't paying any attention. Gonzalo just fell apart, which is fine.
Poor Gonzalo.
Gonzalo just fell apart with little hope of any reformation.
Oh, that's okay.
So Hannah has come and gone, and so this storm should, it's expected to, within a couple of days, reach tropical storm strength and become Isaias.
I got to tell you, the train on Hannah's dress is doing a pretty good job right now.
Yeah, just tons and tons of rain being dumped, especially on the capital region right now. So those of you who are still suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder from 2016 and the floods, that's what you can look forward to, is at least another 12, maybe 14 hours of some rain, and then maybe it'll start to move on out of here tomorrow.
Well, and those who are getting seasonal affective disorder because of numerous days in a row now of gray skies, today's not going to be any better, nor is tomorrow, apparently. So everybody just kind of, this is the time.
So we're just the happy good news boys today, aren't we?
This is the time when you call your buddies Jack and Johnny.
Jack and Johnny?
Yeah, Jack Daniels and Johnny Walker.
Oh, okay. Let's see. I was looking, it doesn't look like the cat, because we're going to talk about this in hour 2, about violence and attitudes towards police. It doesn't look like we had any shooting incidents overnight last night. We did have a stabbing that occurred yesterday evening, but I think that was a non-fatal. So have we gone 24 hours without anybody being killed in East Baton Rouge Parish?
It's possible.
That's always nice to know, but it's getting to be almost a daily occurrence.
Wow. I mean,
which is troublesome.
It is troublesome. It is very, very troublesome. One of the things that is still kind of developing, the feds are backing this vaccine testing program. Mm-hmm. And they are going to give this vaccine to about 39,000 people from sites selected all over the nation. I think New Orleans is one of those sites as well. But I was wondering about this, and not because I'm mean-spirited, but because it will make for a better trial. They are going to, after a week of having the injection for the virus, they are going to have these people go unprotected into high contagion of virus areas to see if they get sick or not. Now, this will make a much more
human guinea pigs.
Human guinea pig. They're all volunteers.
Okay, if they're volunteers,
and a lot of them actually are involved in healthcare, but they're volunteers. There's a woman who is a news anchor in Charleston, South Carolina. And I found her very interesting because she went to go get her shot, and then she said, "Yeah, I'm doing this because I really want to know. But also, think of the great story I will have to tell both on air and to my grandchildren." But she said, "Yeah." She said, "We're going to take all the precautions everybody else has been taking for the first 2 weeks. And then after that, we are basically going to," as she put it, like running through a sprinkler on your front lawn, we are going to go to all kinds of hot spots where the likelihood of exposure is high and see if we get COVID-19.
Going to find some demonstrations, huh?
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, that for them to pretend that the uptick in infections has nothing to do with the crowds that are gathering in America's cities to demonstrate.
Oh, that's just foolish.
Protest whatever the hell they're protesting.
Or you could get drafted with a Major League Baseball team.
Yeah, there's another way to do it.
Holy smoke.
So just no sooner do we start the season back up, it's time to shut it down. I hear quite a number of NFL players are sick right now, and a fair number of NBA players are also sick.
Yeah, 19 Marlins players. 19
is half the team.
Well, some of it is staff, like coaches and all that.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a lot. New York Yankees had to take the day off in Philadelphia while the Phillies underwent team COVID-19 tests. Washington Nationals have got 6 or 7 players who have tested positive. And I mean, they just started the season.
What is your guess? Is this the locker room effect? What?
You know, those guys are. Come on.
I don't know.
Oh, that butt slapping.
It's been a long time since I did a locker room situation. I mean, since high school, but I used to practice social distancing back then.
I mean,
it's like, get away from me. Get away from me.
All locker rooms are petri dishes, okay?
They have that smell that you just want to get in, get out as quickly as possible.
They're always damp.
Yep.
And you got a whole lot of people walking around unclothed, dropping whatever they drop.
Yep.
You know, and I do think, you know, when you got a team, you sit there and you lose your mind. You're the guy's at a locker next to yours, and instead of waiting to get what you want, you get up to it, hey Tom, and you're this close away. Now maybe when you were home, you got exposed to somebody. NBA has a quarantine bubble, and they are still getting cases.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you've heard about that, right?
Yep.
They have a quarantine bubble in Orlando, and they are still getting cases.
Boy, it got dark all of a sudden.
Look at us. Whew. Wow.
Oh, my God, it's dark and scary back there.
Is that the spaceship coming for us?
You know what? That's probably a good sign that we should go ahead and...
Yeah, let's go ahead and take our break.
Let's take a break early here, and we'll let the tech guys...
let those things just happen, and we'll take our break.
All right, we're going to commercial. When we come back...
Sitting there, it's dangerous.
Helen Graf with financial advice with a second round of stimulus on the way.
That's right, the Clarence Buggs Show is back, along with the Exiles, Bill Profita and Kevin Gallagher. We've put the band back together, South Louisiana's talk team, and it's only on the Pelican. 10 a.m. till 12 noon, right here on the Pelican.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Exiles from what you ask? Exiled from the radio. But now, we're on your television.
I'm Bill Profita, he's Kevin Gallagher, and they kicked us to the curb.
But we're back.
We are back with Exiles Television on the Pelican Broadcasting Network. We're going to bring you the newsmakers. We're also going to take your calls and give you great information. It's going to be the best damn radio show on television.
Look for it on your cable system or download the app, PelicanSportsTV.com.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
So we're back with Exiles TV, and if you've been following the news, you know that with some of you households got $2,400, individuals got $1,200 earlier this year. There is another round of stimulus that looks like it's a coming. The president wants to do it. Some Republicans on Capitol Hill want to do it, and I don't see them not doing it, because what the hell? We're just printing money. We might as well just go ahead and go nuts.
You know, there are a lot of arguments to not just print money, but that's when you have a non-emergency situation in the view of a lot of people. To talk about what this means to you as an individual, what it means to the markets, what it means to the economy of the United States, Helen Graf is the principal of Graf Financial. She is a financial analyst and planner, and she is a very studious person when it comes to money and markets. And we want to kind of bring this to the individual level, Helen, I mean, first of all, have the markets been a little bit destabilized, and has personal finance been destabilized by people that have had to dip into their pension plans and their savings plans and things like that over the last 15 weeks?
We haven't seen a lot of destabilization due to withdrawals yet, and I'm not saying that couldn't happen or has happened. The market has made a significant rebound from March the 23rd, which was the bottom, and it's come back about 38% or so since then. It's not quite where it was before it went into this, but there's been this splitting between Wall Street and Main Street. So the markets are representing not necessarily the reality of what's going on in the economy. We've lost the earnings of companies and things like that, so there's a lot of unknown.
There are people that might say, I feel funny about taking a stimulus check, but at the same time they're saying, I was making $110,000 a year and my unemployment is now going to be $227 a week. I don't feel bad about taking the $600 federal add-on. Mm-hmm. How do you balance this out?
There's people who desperately need that money. And if you were making $100,000 a year, hopefully you had some savings and stuff, but you might need that money as well. I mean, this is people were saying, oh, they're paying people not to take a job. Every federal program, I don't care which one it is, when you design it for a certain purpose, and then the purpose expands past its original purpose. And the original purpose might be healthy, and these were truly good intentions. They may be written wrong, they may need to be edited, but the intention is needed.
It is, I think, a human tendency. There are always the smart ones that, let's say if the household income is $125, they might set their living standard at somewhere north of 80, and that way they can invest some income.
Right.
But it's a human tendency to live right at the edge of your income. I mean,
well,
people make it up. They start making six figures. The next thing you know, they're driving a $50,000 vehicle. They want to step up in house, and then something like this happens and disaster.
That's true. On the other hand, let me put the other side of the coin in there. I always like to look at both sides, and that is we have had over the last 10 to maybe 15 years or even longer a bifurcation in jobs, in the economy, in people's jobs. So the middle class has literally stagnated income-wise as a percentage of the higher earners. And the skill sets needed for those jobs has dramatically changed as well. If you take out coal mining, you're usually not going to take a coal miner and make him an IT person.
Right.
You may make him capable of helping to build roads and bridges, which desperately need to be rebuilt. But technology has really stepped in, and it's also become a deflationary thing because a lot of these things that were done by people are now done by technology.
Well, we in the market type system we have an interdependency. And you were saying a few minutes ago, people really need that money, and I don't doubt that. The question that I have is, do the financial institutions which serve the people need us not to be tapping our savings in large numbers? When do we start to destabilize the banks that you and I write checks on or use our debit card for?
There's been some talk about the banks being destabilized. However, I would say that I'm not as worried about that, especially the big banks, especially like a JP Morgan Chase or one of those. A, they run their ships really well. And number two, you have the Fed coming to the backstop. The Feds are the ones that stop the economy or even locally. And because of this is an unusual type of economic stoppage. And they've been printing the money. They've got the printing press, and it's needed right now. The big question comes, how do we get out of it? Because we didn't do 08-09 very well about pulling extra liquidity out of the markets and raising interest rates that would have given us a little bit more ammo for this one. But these types of things should be planned for and expected. They happen.
Are we going to notice a year from now, 2 years from now, hey, you know what? the banks can make a nice little profit at a 2% interest rate. We don't need to have an 8 or 9% interest rate.
A 2% interest rate right now is huge.
Yeah.
You know, you're talking in real terms almost negative rates here now. I mean, they in that one weekend when the oil futures collapsed and oil went negative, and then you had the Fed guy Jeremy Powell came out and lowered the rate down to 0.5% for the 10-year. I mean, you had that done overnight. That's unheard of.
Should people who have kept their paycheck, you know, and some people who have kept their paycheck, healthcare workers, for example, many of them are at the higher end of the middle class scale and beyond that even.
Right.
You know, and I'm not even talking your physicians. I'm talking about your respiratory therapists and your nurse practitioners and your critical care nurses. They're making a very, very good living. Should they be investing now?
It's a great time to be. Let me put it this way: it's a better time than invested in the past. In the markets right now, the issue is where are the earnings? Because you have a lot of dislocation. You have a totally abnormal second quarter so far as any typical measurements that we use in the field. But carefully done, one of the things that's happened is 5 stocks have driven a lot of this. The FANG stocks, the Facebook, Alphabet, Netflix, Google, those stocks have been the primary drivers. So you have a whole host of other things that you can look at that may not be as pricey as those right now.
Talk to me about what you and other investors are seeing. Uncertainty seems to be the theme for 2020, especially when we're talking financial markets. Is that showing? I mean, are investors pulling back? Are they playing that wait and see game, or waiting to when this thing is going to finally be over? Or are people still aggressively investing if they've got capital?
A little bit of both. How about that, Kevin?
Okay.
I did some buying on March the 23rd, but I did it with, say, a third to maybe 50% of my allocations. So I've got some ammo on the sidelines should we get another downturn. Let's say we haven't really gotten rid of this thing. In the summertime, there was an expectation that, okay, it'll give us some slack and we'll have some time, buy us some time. That's not happened with this one. And so now we're going into the fall, and we're actually ramping up the number of people that have it. The markets are holding up pretty well during it, but I always like to have, especially when you have higher degrees of uncertainty, a bigger amount of powder on the sidelines to have. Cash, don't ever be allergic to holding some cash on the sidelines.
Well, you know, we've talked about that, and you know, maybe not so much people in our general demographic, but people that are just younger than us, they don't ever have any cash. You know, they don't have $200 in a sock drawer
Paycheck
at
to
home.
paycheck, most people.
Well,
Right.
or-
Most people do.
Yeah, or they like using the plastic, and everything goes into the bank account. And we see this, we have hurricanes. And then they can't buy gas because the electronic card reader is not working, and they don't have any cheese.
Well, that is a huge issue, and we're going to kind of a cashless society, which is kind of a problem. One of the things that I have some clients do is go spend cash for a week or a month and see you have a different relationship when you're actually putting out the money, and you think twice about spending it than you would if you didn't do that.
It's a little more abstract when you're using that
And we're
card.
getting away from that. We're getting away from that in investing, and we're getting away from that in just handling of cash.
What about the effect on markets and investments just by the fact that our government is getting on the hook for so much more debt to get us through this thing?
The debt is one thing, investments are another, because you've really got to look at the individual companies and what they are, what they do, and how they compound. That's what I look at. However, you have to do that in light of the broader economic environment, and I think this huge debt, we had problems with 08-09, and we're not going into this with a plan to get out of it.
We're going to continue our discussion with Helen Graf of Graf Financial. And again, we're going to take your consumer-based questions. If you would like, we'll put the number up on the screen, and you will be able to call. And I'm talking about, anything in terms of, should I take that vacation to, should I put more money in right now to my 401k? We'll be back in a moment on Exiles TV. Stick around.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to CALEF High School, LSU, and L.L.C School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Clarence Bug Show. Yeah, I'm back on the air. That's right, 10 a.m. until 12 noon, Monday and Wednesday, and we replay it Monday and Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight. Check us out online. You can watch it live at PelicanSportsTV.com, or better yet, why don't you just download the Pelican Broadcasting app? That way you can take it with you anywhere you go. That's right, the Clarence Bug Show. Tell you what, oh, wait, gotta run, gotta go, bye.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Welcome back. It's Exiles TV. I'm Kevin Gallagher along with Bill Profita, and if you're just tuning in, please welcome Helen Graf with Graf Financial. And we're going to put Helen's email address or website up on the screen. But for right now, we want you to use that phone number you're seeing right there, 225-831-1029. Your questions about investing. Now, Helen's not going to give you stock tips. She's not going to name any names. But if you've got some money and this is a good time to get in.
Or if you are struggling right now and you're going to get another stimulus payment, you know, what kind of strategies can you use to stretch it? You don't have to call Helen for investment advice. Let's talk about consumer economics on the personal level. What have you been doing? What do you think you ought to be doing? A little gut check, if nothing else. You can give Helen a call, 225-831-1029. Now, I read that the max on this one's going to be $1,200.
I think so.
Per household or person?
This will be per household without kids. You know, the kids thing. You always get more money for kids.
Yeah, but they're expensive little critters.
Yeah. The last time around was $1,200 each. So the Gallagher household got $2,400.
And see, there's also an income limit. We did not get $2,400. And the income limit has also been lowered. So if you're married filing jointly, I think up to $165,000 adjusted gross on your tax return, you still get the $1,200. Up to 198, it gets prorated down. After 198 gross household income, you don't get anything.
All right, Helen, let me just ask a real street level question. Let's say Marianne and I have $1,200 coming. We're not, and we're going to take it. What the hell? We're not stupid. We're not currently having any trouble meeting the monthly. If we wanted to take that $1,200, could we get into anything with as little as $1,200, or does it take a more significant investment?
No, when you're talking about that amount of money, you really want to invest in something that's a broader base, like an S&P 500 index fund, something with the characteristics of low turnover, and something where the cost structure is very low, and yet it's well diversified enough to where you can hang on to it. You can do that with that kind of money. With that kind of money, I wouldn't pick an individual stock, because I think you need in stocks 25 to 30 issues to be well diversified. That's about what you need. But I want to go back to an earlier point that you made, Bill, that might help some people. At the end of last hour, we were talking about some of the basics that I have people look at. One of the other things that we're talking about, cash and actually physically spending cash, and how your experience changes as opposed to just swiping cards. What we have people do is we have a spreadsheet that we give to people to work on, and it really makes them aware of what they're doing. And we have it broken down into income up top, and then we have a set of expenses that are non-discretionary expenses. They are things that you have no control over. The utility bills, the mortgage payment, the insurance, the car payment, that sort of thing. And then we have a set of discretionary things that you can change. Am I taking a vacation? Am I not taking a vacation? So now you know what you can control and what you can't, and what the minimum is to meet that. And then you take that and say, how much cash do I have on the side, do I have set out, or how much liquidity can I get to in order to sustain me for a significant period of time? And it makes people are so afraid of spreadsheets and numbers and all this kind of stuff, but I tell you, just if writing it on a piece of paper, you will get more awareness of where you really truly are.
Well, and you know, the cash in pocket thing is something I have done for a very long time, ever since I got my first real paycheck. Is I will go and put it in the bank, and I will take X number of dollars in cash, and that goes into my pocket, and that is my spending money. I don't swipe plastic like a debit card,
right,
unless it is over $50. And you would be surprised how much cash you can run through if you're not real careful, but it means a lot more when you're taking it out of your pocket.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. You have a real sense of what that money is.
You have a physical relationship with your money.
Right.
Well, and again, if you're low on gas and the only stations you need that are nearby are 15, 16 cents a gallon higher than the one you normally use, you don't fill it. You get $5 until you can get closer to the one with, you know,
with the lower. I mean, it's funny because the gas station signs now don't say that; they say cash and or the debit card sign. They don't have what the actual gallon of gas does. And I just remember driving down the street going, "Okay, it's so much a gallon here, and I'll go save 3 cents a gallon someplace else."
Well, I bought some gas this morning on the way in, and you know, I think they're being very competitive because they're kind of new to the Baton Rouge market. And that's Murphy USA with their big racetrack style convenience stores.
No, but a Murphy usually has, may not always be in Baton Rouge, but a Murphy usually has the cheapest gas in the state.
Are you ready? The one closest to our facility here on by Women's Hospital on Stumberg.
Yes.
21 cents a gallon less.
That's huge.
Now, if you're filling up your average tank, that is about
significant savings.
Oh yeah, it's about $4.50.
Where a lot of places are running, 3-4 cents differential, but I still think that a simple little thing like gas, you've got to think about that. You've got to think about what grocery stores have the best value for the price, and then can you afford enough masks to go there?
Let me ask this again. It is a consumer question. For those that might be cashing out in the year 2020, those that might be retiring, and they've got their IRAs or their 401ks or their pension plan or all of the above, is this an environment where they're going to have the kind of retirement payout that they thought that they were planning for all their lives?
This is a big question with a lot of different aspects to it. One of them is, let's say you retire from a state pension plan or something like that, or a company with a pension plan for that, so that they promised you X amount of dollars per month. They've had to have their own investment criteria behind that. And so this is affecting those plans hugely because, no, are you getting 8% or 6% on bonds? No, you're getting 0. And so the real danger in this kind of economic environment is people, we term it reaching for yield, but that is that you take on more risk to make more money. And that subjects your principal to being able to disappear. For instance, if interest rates turn around, on a 10-year bond, you could lose 24%. On a 30-year bond, that same 3% increase, you could lose close to half, 45, 48%.
Whoa.
So what I'm saying is that people who say, okay, I want to go out and make more money, you've got to be really careful where the risk is coming from that's causing that to make more money. There are some that are legitimate, but there's also a whole lot more that are not.
Yeah, you have to look at the odds of what's going to happen over the next several months in the market.
And years. We're at the end of about a 40-year, what we refer to as a bull market in bonds. Interest rates have done nothing but drop. It's a teeter-totter between prices of bonds and interest rates. So if interest rates go down, the prices go up. Everybody wins. We're up at the bottom of that. And we will turn sometime into the opposite environment. Interest rates will go higher and you'll lose your principal.
Like a lot of people, I watched my retirement accounts. My IRAs just, tens of thousands of dollars. They have recovered somewhat, but they certainly aren't where they were in January.
Right.
Are you seeing people that, well, you don't necessarily handle IRAs and things like that?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah, I do.
Okay. Do you see people that are reluctant now to add to that principal? You know, like if they've got an extra $1,000, $2,000, they're like,
No,
I don't know if I want to put it in there because that thing's losing money.
Actually, in March we were buying.
Really?
March 26th I was buying.
Marvelous. Is that a good market indicator, or does that speak for your
I've done it
clients?
before. You don't know where the bottom is. You can never pick a bottom. But the thing is, when you see, relatively speaking, that you can pick up some high-quality names at really sales prices, I go shopping.
Well, and again, you really can't add to your IRA per se, but you can change what's in the IRA portfolio by buying into the market.
Right.
You can change your assignments.
And you can also get out of lower quality stuff and upgrade into higher quality issues. We use primarily individual securities as opposed to funds. A lot of people use funds, and that's part of the reason. You're not going to come up with everything. The 5 stocks that have been pushing all this recovery are basically the FANG stocks.
Helen Graf is the principal of Graf Financial here in Baton Rouge. Helen, you've been very generous with your time. If someone would like to talk to you personally, how would they reach you?
Our phone number is 223-6048, and you can email us at info@graffinancial.com.
All right, that's info@graffinancial.com.
With one F, Graf Financial.
One F. We appreciate it. Maybe when we start getting into a bull market again, hustle, we can have you back and we'll all do the happy dance. What do you think?
That's great. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Always good to see you, Helen.
With Graf Financial. We have got more coming up on Exiles TV this morning. After our top of the hour break, we will be joined midway through the next hour by former BRPD Chief Pat Englade. He is going to talk about cops under fire, not just with insults and demonstrators and defunders, but he's also going to talk about cops under fire with their wages not getting increased during a time of national crisis. It is a big deal in Baton Rouge and elsewhere in Louisiana. We'll be back in a moment on Exiles.
L.L.C Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances. Your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Exiles from what you ask? Exiled from the radio. But now, we're on your television.
I'm Bill Profita, he's Kevin Gallagher, and they kicked us to the curb.
But we're back.
We are back with Exiles Television on the Pelican Broadcasting Network. We're going to bring you the newsmakers. We're also going to take your calls and give you great information. It's going to be the best damn radio show on television.
Look for it on your cable system or download the app, PelicanSportsTV.com.
Hello, guys. It's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Welcome back, Exiles TV, round two.
Round two.
Glad to have you along with us. Again, thanks to Helen Graf with Graf Financial. And you know, Helen has been a guest many, many times telling us about what's going on with markets and money. But she will talk to you personally or respond to your email. And we had it up on the screen for you. It was info@graffinancial.com.
Yes.
That would be the best way.
And she answers your email.
Mm-hmm. She does indeed. Mm-hmm. She does indeed.
So the big question that's stirring, and I saw a thing this morning that said Livingston Parish schools are in the process right now of cleaning and disinfecting their school, all their schools, in anticipation of opening a somewhat normal school year. Mm-hmm. But yet we still are hearing from teachers unions, not only locally but also across the nation, that don't want the schools to open. It's like, whoa, you're teachers. You've got a job to do. You've got an obligation to do that job. Why on earth would you not? And I understand some teachers are older and they might fall into comorbidity groups, but certainly we can come up with something that could work for them. They could wear face shields. They could wear PPE. I don't think it's fair to our children to just not educate them. They haven't had school since March, for God's sakes.
Here's the thing, okay? First of all, I don't believe that professional people should belong to unions. I don't believe in doctors' unions, nurses' unions. I don't believe in teachers' unions. That's my personal idea.
Well, teachers' unions are political action committees.
But, you know, what they also are, they give voice to the slackers. Look, when I was at LSU, the ones who were like, hey, dude, this is kind of cool. I'm going to have like 8 weeks off during the 3 quarters of a year, and I'm going to have all the summers off. That's why I want to be a teacher. They're kind of like, gee, I don't want to have to work the whole year. And I can think of no other facility where you can do a better job of accomplishing your work safely than most schools in the United States of America. Almost every school has got a gymnasium and an activity room that is very large and very empty. Most classrooms have got about 400 square feet that they use for storing of crafts or musical instruments. Most high schools have a band room.
So you've got room to socially distance.
You can space everybody the hell out to where they don't even know who they're in there with. And the teacher can be 20 feet away. But they don't want to do that. They'd rather do remote learning. Now, let me tell you what is happening on college campuses where they were doing the remote learning.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the parents who are paying tuition were saying, if you give me remote learning for my kid, I want 70% of my tuition check sent back post haste.
Couldn't agree with them more.
Because I am buying the classroom experience, the access to other individuals, the access to libraries, the access to the professors. And I'm sorry, public schools is exactly the same way. Those kids need to be in the learning environment with the teachers, with the coaches, with the principals, with their peers. That is the biggest part of the educational experience.
Mm-hmm.
And this is simply, hey, we can milk this semi-vacation for another 4 or 5 months.
What we're seeing here is that school administrative bodies, school boards, locally and elsewhere, are simply rolling over and doing what the teachers' unions want them to do. And I disagree with it. I think it's time that we curtailed how much influence the teachers' unions get to have on our kids' education. I had lunch with a friend the other day. Son is 15 years old, and he's a musical prodigy. He can play like 7 different instruments, and he's a good student, solid B student, and he loves to play in his high school's dance band. They have a stage band and a marching band, and he loves to be in both. None of that. None of it. I asked him, how's band going, Henry? Nope.
Not happening.
No band. No band this fall. No marching band, even if we play football, no marching band. No stage band. No band whatsoever. Well, what about classroom? Still waiting to see.
Well,
still waiting to see if they're going to go back to school.
You talk about the impact of the unions. And if that is correct, then once again we have come off the rails. Because the administration, the school board, the people who own the facilities should never be interested in keeping the union happy. It is an adversarial system by design. All they should be interested in is accomplishing the goals that the tax money provides for, which is building the buildings, filling them with children, and giving them their education.
And, excuse me, the other thing a union is for is if a teacher has a grievance, the union can represent.
Well, that's all fine.
But the union's becoming part and parcel of the decision-making process on policy.
But that is still an adversarial system by its design, and that's the way it works best, by the way. But here's the deal. You open the school, if a teacher says, I don't want to come back, then that's what's called abandonment of your job. You cancel that teacher's contract. Somebody will take that slot. The teacher will go to court. Maybe there's a lawsuit, but by the time it gets heard, the kids have already been advanced to the next grade, and you can worry about it at that point. Your job, school boards, is to get those butts in the seat, get the federal funds to finance it, and educate those kids. Your job is not to keep the teachers' union happy. It simply isn't. That is not your job.
Going to take a break, take care of a little bit of business. Coming up this hour, we're going to talk with Pat Englade, former police chief here in Baton Rouge and the co-founder of CALEF, the Capital Area Law Enforcement Foundation, about the relationship with police. Not only the community's relationship, but also the community government's relationship with police. Do we esteem them as we should? It's a good question, and we'll pose it when Exiles return. Stay by.
guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
That's right, the Clarence Bug Show is back, along with the Exiles, Bill Profita and Kevin Gallagher. We've put the band back together, South Louisiana's talk team, and it's only on the Pelican. 10 a.m. till 12 noon, right here on the Pelican.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Welcome back to Exiles TV. Glad to have you along with us on this Tuesday morning. Rain everywhere in South Louisiana. Lots of flood warnings, flash flood warnings.
You'd think this was April.
My God. I mean, the tail end of Hannah has just been a deluge.
Yeah, it's been somewhat quiet at our location here for the last hour and 10 minutes, but I woke up to horrible thunder showers. Just boom, 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 and you can, hear it coming down fiercely hard. At times like those, I worry. I got a 20-year-old roof on my house, and I start looking out for those telltale signs in the sheetrock up above the head.
I tell you what, if this is the tail end of not even a close miss, I don't want anything tropical to get any closer to us.
Okay, Bill, real quick before we get on to this hour's topic, I want to share this with you. This happened in our neighbor city, New Orleans. How would you like to be the cop that had to respond to this? Authorities say an enraged man shot at convenience store employees and patrons after the employee told him, put on a mask. Okay? New Orleans police said the shooting happened Sunday night at the Brothers Mart on Bullard Avenue. Now, I used to live out in that part of New Orleans once upon a time, and I don't recall there being any stores on Bullard Avenue.
This is in New Orleans East, isn't it?
Yeah, eastern New Orleans. At Bullard, there's not a lot of businesses along, or there weren't back in the day along Bullard, so I don't know. I'm going to guess Brothers Mart is probably a convenience store. Probably.
Not at that moment it wasn't. Pretty damn inconvenient.
Pretty inconvenient for this man. His name is not released, which I don't understand why that is. Sometimes I guess it takes a couple. I understand. They don't have him in custody. Police said employees asked the man, please wear some type of face covering when he came into the store. The man turned around, stormed out, returned with a gun, firing multiple rounds at the employees. No one hit, no one injured. because, thank God for the poor marksmanship of your average dude out there that has a gun. They said he fled the scene in a black Buick sedan, still on the lookout, police looking. They ask anyone with information, please contact detectives. Over being asked,
Do
wear a
they
mask.
have a photo from their surveillance system that they're
None
required
published
to have?
none published with this story.
Gee, I wonder
But
why.
it was only Sunday night. But we're finding people of all walks of life, myself included, although I didn't get nasty. But people are being stopped and they're being asked to put that mask on. And what you have to understand is a grocery store, a convenience store, or a restaurant, Popeyes, fried chicken, Joe's Cigar Bar, these are not public places. They're open to the public, but they are private establishments. And if they've got a policy that in order to come in here, we want you to wear a mask, your choices are A, wear a mask, or B, turn around and get the hell out.
I had the opposite experience just yesterday at the Walmart.
Walmart said, I read a thing said they're going to stop enforcing it because there's too many fights going on.
But this was outside. I'm walking in with Karen, and there's a very, very large young man, and he's walking right beside me, and he realizes he doesn't have his mask. And so he turns, and we almost get shoulder to shoulder, and he covered his mouth with his hand. He said, "I'm so sorry, sir." He said, I'm not contagious or anything, but I forgot my mask, and I didn't mean to get so close to you. I said,
very considerate young man.
It's okay. It's all right. I had the complete opposite experience with
Chill,
him.
cootie boy. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then
I saw the bulge in his pants. No.
Excuse me?
And how do you know I was talking about that kind of bulge?
I thought you were mentioning that he possibly had a weapon.
Oh, okay. I was thinking the other thing.
That's usually, that goes back here, in the back of the waistband.
Yeah, because it makes it easy to hold it like this.
But the fact that people are actually getting into fights over the mask thing is just ridiculous to me. What happened to the fact that the mask was for situations where we could not social distance?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's become the mask plus social distancing.
Well, everybody needs to remind themselves. But we have got, and I don't know that Louisiana is different than other states, but we have got this culture of everybody wanting to get combative over every damn little thing.
Yes.
And they do so at their own peril because you know what? They never win. Just, like that woman who hit that guy in the same Walmart that I was speaking of, made his nose bleed and all that. Now, he declined to press charges.
And she dropped him to the pavement, too. She decked him.
Yeah, he declined to press charges, but I understand she has been barred from shopping at Walmart for life.
But I did read, over the weekend, that Walmart has said, we're not going to make a hard, fast enforcement of this mask thing because there's too many fights going on at our stores.
Well, and the thing is, when you get into a hard and fast enforcement mode, it's confrontational by its very nature. You know what? If you want to enforce it, and most of them hire off-duty deputies, but you can also hire some private security people that are uniformed and look like they have some authority and let them do it. I don't think it's a good idea to ask a 75-pound girl who works as a checker and you just have her at the door and she's asking some big burly guy who has got a bad attitude.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's not what they signed up to do. If you want to be hard and fast about this, that's your right. Go ahead and do it. But have some professionals handle that part of it for you.
Well, and the other thing I want to stress, and we have talked about this before, is if you're listening to me, please, no matter how you feel about the mask thing, wear your mask if you want to wear your mask. But if he or she is not wearing their mask, you're not the mask police.
No.
Mind your own business and spare yourself a broken nose.
Well, and the confrontation. Don't we have enough going on? Do we need confrontations now?
Do we need our police having to respond to people having confrontations over a mask?
Yeah.
No, they've got better things to do.
I mean, and I haven't seen people behaving this way in stores since the Cabbage Patch Dolls and the Beanie Babies and the first day they did Black Friday opening at 5 a.m.
I witnessed it just Friday afternoon. It was only some raised voices and cussing. It didn't escalate to blows. They both parted company, but still, it's two people in the middle of the grocery store having it out over the mask.
That is insane.
We're going to take a quick break, take care of some business, and when we come back, we're going to talk about our relationship with the police, both on a national scale and on a local scale, and why is it we don't pay these people the kind of money they need to get paid. Pat Englade's our guest when Exiles continues.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to CALEF High School, LSU, and L.L.C School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
State Treasurer John Schroeder, encouraging you to visit latreasury.com to search for your unclaimed property money. During this pandemic, we've returned money to businesses, local governments, and people across Louisiana.
New Orleans Habitat for Humanity found unclaimed property with the Louisiana Treasury.
Audubon Nature Institute has unclaimed property.
I found unclaimed property with the Louisiana Department of Treasury.
We still have over $800 million. This is your money. Claim it.
Clarence Bugg Show. Yeah, I'm back on the air. That's right, 10 a.m. until 12 noon, Monday and Wednesday, and we replay it Monday and Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight. Check us out online. You can watch it live at PelicanSportsTV.com, or better yet, why don't you just download the Pelican Broadcasting app? That way you can take it with you anywhere you go. That's right, the Clarence Bugg Show. Tell you what, oh, wait, gotta run, gotta go, bye.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
Hi, Exiles TV returns. He's Bill, I'm Kevin, and joining us right now in the center chair is our good friend Pat Englade. Pat is a former police chief here in East Baton Rouge and also the founder of CALEF, the Capital Area Law Enforcement Foundation. We thought we'd invite Pat on to talk about this relationship that the country's having with police. And the fact that police officers are being assaulted, attacked, some are being killed. I mean, I think how many officers have died since all this unrest started?
I haven't seen a recent figure.
I think it's like 14.
Yeah, I think there's every day there's a new number comes up, and I haven't looked at it lately.
And we've got our own local spin on it here. Is that it's no secret that Baton Rouge police have starting salaries and a pay grade that is not highly rewarding, especially if you consider the job that they do. So we thought we'd talk with you about that. And Pat, thanks for being our guest.
Sure.
Today.
Let's talk about the financial issues. Somebody came out and said it last week, and there are a lot of us that have known it, but they have said that police officers cannot support a family if they don't work a whole lot of extra duty, because what we pay them as their base salary is insufficient. Do you agree with that?
Yes. I worked extra duty up till the day I became chief of police.
And some officers actually make more working extra duty than they do with their salary.
They do, and that's the problem. You've diluted your police department to a point that they've got to go out and work so much extra duty that sooner or later they just wear down from the stress of, the 18-hour days. And I think that at one point we had said they couldn't work any more than 16 in a day, because that was pretty much with the health the department said was reasonable, that somebody, if they worked more than that, they wouldn't be able to operate sufficiently with any, with no more rest than that. So I don't know what it is today, to be honest with you.
Well, you don't let somebody driving a truck on an interstate or U.S. highway drive more than 9 hours in one day.
You've got to have some standards.
And you know why? Because that's dangerous.
Exactly.
Yes. But yet
Especially
a cop could work 18 hours a day. He could do his 8 or 10, and then get off shift and go to the restaurant or the department store or whatever, wherever he's being paid to be a security guard.
And it's because they have to. If they want to get new shoes for their kids, when school starts, if they want to not be on food stamps, if they want to live in a decent neighborhood, this is what they have to do. So what it comes down to is, why is it so hard to get a pay raise for police officers?
Well, I think you got to want to prioritize that in a department or in a city. I don't think that's been done under this administration, to be honest with you, because you're talking about $1 billion budget. And the BRPD, I think, is running about $94 million out of that $1 billion budget. And if you go through that budget, you'll see there's a lot of fat in that thing. Now, what you got to remember is it's recurring funds now, and you can't. It's one time's money. It's not going to be sufficient to do any good. Officers don't need a bonus at the end of the year. They need that regular pay rate. The cost exactly. And I think I've argued this for years. I mean, this has been one of those things that I've argued since I was with the department, the chief of the department, and since then. You almost have to have a revenue stream. I mean, that's the only way you're going to ever get this to a position where it can sustain itself, so to speak. And you have to have a revenue stream that can do that. And I think every mayor has shied away from that for one reason or another. I think Kip tried to hide it within his road tax at one point. Y'all may remember that.
Did. Yes.
He threw that, and I knew that was going to kill it. I mean, if you'd have just ran it on the merits of a police department, especially after 2016, I think you might have had a chance. I'm not sure there's a chance in hell to get anything passed now.
But if you want to try to compare apples with something that looks a little bit like an apple, let's look at St. George Fire Department. Now, they have fewer personnel, but their equipment costs 15 times more than police equipment, and they've got a lot more real estate that they have to buy, build, and maintain. So I'm going to say it's fairly close. They have a renewable property tax, a millage, that provides their revenue stream. Do you think voters in this city would be against that?
Today?
Yeah.
Probably.
Why?
Here's what I think. If we've got a renewable millage for the sheriff's office, why can't we have a renewable millage for the city police? But I think some other millages are going to have to go away before people are willing to pay that.
Well, you know, there was the chief at one point said he was going to go into his budget and he was going to find something in there to give these people a pay raise. You know, I don't know what his budget looked like, but mine was pretty lean. I mean, we had to do without something if we start digging into it at all. When you prepare your budget for the year, the city wants to know, what do you need, how much of it do you need, and there's no fat in there. And the problem with police work is, as y'all know, the crisis can occur at any moment, at any time. 10 in a year, 20 in a year. We can have 4 hurricanes. We can have riots. And those numbers are all just going to fluctuate to the point of just eating up everything you have in your budget. And the only thing left at that point is personnel. I mean, there's no cutting fat. The fat is cars, gasoline, and uniforms and guns and those sort of things. That's the fat of a police department.
Well, yeah, it's all in your human resources.
Yes, that's everything.
Well, I mean, I remember after the flood of 2016, and I was talking with the chief, and they lost a whole bunch of brand new vehicles to the flood that had never been put in service yet. And I said, well, certainly you're insured for that. And they said, no, the city is self-insured. And I'm like, how freaking stupid is that? Not for vehicles, not for something that moves.
Well, I'm
Go call Geico.
Let me tell you, I did that. and everyone I talked to said, who do you work for? And I would tell police department, they go, thank you, and they'd hang up the phone. I mean, literally, you can't get insurance on a police vehicle without paying a horrible. It's a high risk as much as you can get. I mean, we chased people all over. They wreck one a day. It's just, I had absolutely looked into that when I was chief, and the costs were just prohibitive. I mean, we couldn't touch it
until you lose 70 of them in a flood.
Well, and then that bites real bad.
Yeah.
The current city administration is accused by a number of columnists and other people of having a really top-heavy, fat budget. But there are a lot of city employees that maybe we could do without, and that could make room to allocate more money to police. Do you agree or disagree?
I've looked through the budget, and of course somebody's going to have to suffer. You have some programs within the city parish, and I'm going to just say what they are. A lot of them are giveaway programs that we give to certain, in certain parts of Baton Rouge that we give benefits to. That are the favorites of council people and such, and I'm not sure you're going to get those away. It'd be a real fight to do it. I haven't seen anybody in the council step up yet and say, look, this needs to be a priority. If anybody at all is paying attention right now, they're losing policemen by the day. They are absolutely, it's not a slow bleed. It is actually, it's an arterial bleed right now. And I'm talking about police officers that I've worked with 10, 15, 20 years of service now, are just walking out of the door saying, I cannot do this anymore.
And they're getting offers. I mean, they're getting offers from big police departments in Dallas. Cost of living comparable to Baton Rouge, but you're going to make 30% more the day you walk through the door.
You can go to Gonzales and make a lot more. You don't have to go to Dallas. You can go anywhere. I mean, there was never a point in the history of Baton Rouge that I knew that Baton Rouge police officers would go to the sheriff's office, because it's just, and it's nothing about the sheriff's office other than you're an at-will employee, and the next day the sheriff doesn't like the way you look. He says, "Bye. I don't like the way you look today. You were a colonel. Now you're into jail." But so for those guys to leave and go to the sheriff's office without all the protection is never happened before. But now the sheriff, and I know I've talked to the people over there at the sheriff's office, they're taking everybody from BRP that they can take.
Now, here's something that, I know they've done pay study after pay study, and I've never seen a completed one, but I just kind of on my own, the last time they were talking about making pay fair and equitable, I took the largest police department in the United States, New York Police. Now, bear in mind that the cost of living inside the 5 boroughs of New York is a good 45% more than the cost of living in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, when you take everything
That
into
seems
account.
conservative.
Anybody here want to guess what a brand new detective 3rd grade, which means this officer's only got 4 or 5 years of experience as a patrolman and past detective, anybody want to guess what a brand new detective 3rd grade
75.
makes?
I don't know.
$111,500 a year.
Wow.
Now, a brand new
But that's to live in New York City as well.
Well, they don't have to, though. They can live in the burbs, okay? But even as that is, do you know what a brand new detective at BRPD makes? And most of them have achieved the rank of corporal or training officer. They're not just regular patrolmen now.
That's 5 years or more. It used to be.
Yeah, 5 years or more?
That's what it used to be.
Try 39,000.
Yeah. Starting pay is 34.9.
Yeah.
That's pitiful.
Well, and I'll tell you, there's not, if you look at if you want to see a shock, you don't need to go to New York. Go look at the state police pay scale. It'll knock you backwards. If you're a ranking officer, I'm talking about on the road.
Yeah, senior trooper.
Senior trooper, whatever their term they use, you're making $100,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
That's base pay. That's not working details or anything
overtime
else.
or anything like that.
That's base pay.
Leading into this, I mentioned what's going on a national scale. And it's not just that we've got gangs of ruffians, malcontents, scumbags that are protesting against the police. We seem to have a compliant media that wants to reinforce this message to America, that police are bad, it's time to defund police. I don't hear any TV anchors say it is time to defund police, but they're only too happy to put all that negative press out there. We saw a police chief in New York City assaulted with a ball bat. No charges. What the hell?
This thing is taking a turn I never thought we'd ever see in this country.
Insanity has gripped our country.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's afraid to even say, I kind of like the police because we kind of need them.
You kind of need them.
But it looks like everybody's afraid to say that today.
It's not
because
just we kind of need them. It's absurd to think about a society without police.
I don't understand that. I don't know how reasonably minded person can sit there and say, we're going to manage to run a city without a police department and function in any kind of way. I mean, you're seeing pretty much what the results of that are right here in Baton Rouge, where we're running very short. And I'm talking to these officers. They're running 2 or 3 officers a shift and running calls, and now they've started these street parties in Baton Rouge, which is a whole new conversation for another day, that is completely out of control, and we're not even apparently doing anything about it at this point.
Hold that thought, because we need to take a break. We'll be back. I do remember when I was in college, a very popular bumper sticker was, next time you're in trouble, call a hippie. See what happens.
I remember that.
We'll be back on Exiles TV.
L.L.C Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
L.L.C Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
That's right, the Clarence Buggs Show is back, along with the Exiles, Bill Profita and Kevin Gallagher. We put the band back together, South Louisiana's talk team, and it's only on the Pelican. 10 a.m. till 12 noon, right here on the Pelican.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Hello, guys. It's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
We're back. It's Exiles TV. Bill Profita over there, Kevin over here, and right in the middle, Pat Englade, the former police chief of Baton Rouge and the founder of the Capital Area Law Enforcement Foundation. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
Sure, Jordan.
You know, I find that people have been very disrespectful of police officers around this country and in Baton Rouge occasionally for the last 10 or 15 years. I've never understood the logic, because the police are the ultimate organization that they don't know whether you like them or not when they pull up on your wreck and have to cut your seatbelt and try not to hurt you while they're getting out of the car. They don't know whether you like cops or not when they're responding to a burglary in progress. I don't understand the mentality, and I think a lot of it is because I haven't done it. You have. You've done it. Tell me what this is all about. Why?
I don't know. I mean, we've had a number of these, and they're bad situations that have occurred throughout the country. But Floyd, for some reason, just touched off a nerve that just flew through this country like nothing I've ever seen before.
Well, if I may, we had 1, 2, 3, bang, bang, bang. We had Floyd, we had Breonna Taylor, and then we had the man in Atlanta. I've forgotten his name. I've forgotten his name, and I mean no disrespect. I've just forgotten his name. But we had the Atlanta incident as well, and they happened within relatively close time of one another. And I don't know if that was some kind of a straw breaking the camel's back or what.
Well, I mean, it was obvious.
Nuts.
It was obvious from the Floyd situation, unless there's something we're all missing here. I mean, I've looked at it a number of times, and I can't figure out why he was doing what he was doing. It makes no sense to me as a police officer why he was doing what he was doing. Now, I'm sure they'll come out with some explanation when this thing goes to trial, but. I don't see. I'll argue with people all the time about all policemen want to do is just kill people, and I'm thinking, what logic does your whole life is ruined when you shoot somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Whether you wanted to or not, whether it's justified or not, in this day and time, if you have to shoot someone, you're going to be under the gun. You're going to have to get your own attorneys. You're going to fight civil, criminal. I mean, the whole thing. It turns your life upside down. So the mere fact that anybody would ever say, I've hired a number of police officers. Never did I have somebody come in and say, I want to be a police officer so I can shoot people. It's the last thing people want to do. So how that's translated or turned into whatever we've got now, I mean, these guys are going in places that nobody else would ever want to go into. They're getting into situations that nobody else wants to get into. And they're putting their lives on the line, and they're seeing their fellow officers being shot every day. And I don't understand this backlash that's occurring and this sentiment towards police officers today.
It's also jumped the tracks. It started out as anger towards police officers, but now it's become a black-white thing. And all you got to do is get on this social media, and you're going to find any number daily, any number of videos from different cities of a white person being assailed by black people and savaged. I mean, savaged, and a lot of times elderly people. And it's like, how does that help your cause with being upset about the treatment of black people by police?
Is it hatred? I mean, where are we going? I don't understand. Is it that we've been looking for an opportunity to hate, and now it's just come to pass, so let's just start hating and beating up people and terrorizing communities? Is that where we are? Because none of this actually makes sense to me. It really doesn't.
My personal opinion, based on observation, one of the worst things that ever happened in this country, no matter who it was said to, was, okay, now it's your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? When I see some of these people that are breaking windows and stealing things, and when they're apprehended, a lot of them are white people. But they're marginalized. You can tell. You can tell it's the geeky, ugly kid that may be confused about his sexual identity and maybe got bullied, and he's saying, now
Can't
it's
hold
my
down
turn.
a job.
You know? Or it's the people that have always wanted to be counterculture because they thought it was the only way they could grab some credibility, and now it's their turn. There are some people in all these demonstrations that are there because it's an opportunity to yell, to break, to hit, to burn, and those need to be dealt with in a completely different fashion. But we're not giving our police officers the ability to deal with them in a completely different fashion. You know, I don't think it's a good idea to say, look, they're throwing Molotov cocktails, but let's not arrest them because that's going to make things worse. How does that make things worse? Well, the not arresting them makes things worse because you're giving them a license.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, I've made this statement, and people look at me kind of funny when I say it, but Charles Manson would have a heyday in this generation today.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen, just as an example, when they marched on and set up in front of Helen Moore's house, and they were interviewing these 2 or 3 little white girls who were kind of standing toward the back, and they asked them, what are y'all doing here? What are y'all protesting? And she said, well, I don't know, this guy at Hillard's house or something here. We're here, and we're against an indictment. And
indictment for who?
I don't know, but you have to wonder.
Exactly. They don't know what the hell they're there
exactly. We're being drug into something that we don't even know what we're being drug into, which is very scary, in my opinion, that we can lead people into a situation and not even know why they're there. I can understand everybody's passion for something, but good Lord, when you show up at a protest and you're not even sure why you're there, then that is problematic for everybody.
It's like James Dean. What are you rebelling against? What do you got?
But see, now we've got a new sociology that preys upon young people. High school and college age people, they're being preyed upon. The sociology is this: they'll be told that if they don't go out in the street and take place in the protest and yell and scream, that they are therefore racist. There's a park near Columbia University in New York that is poorly lit. The walking paths are overgrown, and Columbia and Bernard College used to tell their students, you don't want to go in there at night, it's dangerous, okay? It's in Harlem, because Columbia is in Harlem, and they stopped telling them that because they didn't want to appear racially motivated by telling them that. And about 1.5 years ago, an 18-year-old college student from Arizona decided to walk through the park in the evening, and he got to the top of the steps where she was set upon by 3 guys with knives who demanded her cell phone and killed her anyway. And this is the sociology we have. If you're not outraged, Kevin, if you don't want to scream and yell in the street, if you don't want to embrace the way these people act, you must be a racist.
Must be a racist.
And that is just as dangerous as saying every long-haired kid must be a pot smoker, or every black person must hate white people. It's just exactly as bad.
Or every white person hates black people.
Exactly. It's just, but I mean, this is the sociology. These kids from Catholic High and U High, these are kids of privilege, and they don't know why they're out there, except they don't want to be called racist by their black peer group. And that's a real shame.
And I think you're exactly on point with that. I think if we don't agree, then we're seen as racist, and I that's not the case. And I don't think anybody should be put in that situation. And policing at that point absolutely has nothing to do with that. Police are going to go to where the problem areas are, period. Mm-hmm. They're going to go where the calls to service are, period. And mostly the good people in all these communities welcome them. They don't want these criminals in their neighborhoods any more than anybody else. So, I think this thing in Baton Rouge has been way overblown. And I think, we have a good relationship here in Baton Rouge. We got good people in Baton Rouge. And it's the whole thing. I didn't know I had a problem till you told me I did.
I didn't know I was supposed to be angry
exactly.
until you told me
I don't have a problem with you, but I'm supposed to now. I don't.
Well, not too long ago, we were discussing 2016, which was a horrible year.
Yeah.
So probably the most horrible year so far of the 21st century for this city, except maybe this year. But we had the Alton Sterling thing. Very unfortunate series of events led to a man dying. He didn't need to die that night. Who you blame for that is a matter of opinion. What was it, 3 weeks after Alton, we have 6 law enforcement officers gunned down by a lunatic from out of town. As bad as all that was, and as tense as things were between white and black in this city, when our homes were flooding and people need to get out of their homes, nobody cared what color that guy who was offering you a hand to get out of your house, or nobody cared what color the person who needed to be evacuated was. We all pulled together, we all helped each other out. And I think that's the Baton Rouge we need to concentrate on.
Well, and the group psychology for the bad stuff is a very, very powerful thing. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back to wrap it up. Chief Pat Englade stays with us to the top of the show, and you stay there too for Exiles TV.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For total pest control for your home or business, call the original Salvat.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to CALEF High School, LSU, and L.L.C School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Clarence Bugg Show. Yeah, I'm back on the air. That's right, 10 a.m. until 12 noon, Monday and Wednesday, and we replay it Monday and Wednesday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight. Check us out online. You can watch it live at PelicanSportsTV.com, or better yet, why don't you just download the Pelican Broadcasting app? That way you can take it with you anywhere you go. That's right, the Clarence Bugg Show. Tell you what, oh, wait, gotta run, gotta go, bye.
Welcome back to Exiles TV. I'm Bill. He's Kevin.
Yes.
And this is former police chief Pat Englade. We've been talking about relationships between cops and the public and cops and the elected officials. But Pat is the founder of CALEF, the Capital Area Law Enforcement Foundation. They assist active duty law enforcement officers and also assist their families if one of them gets hurt or worse. But one of the big things they're doing is trying to raise money for vests for every officer that will stop a rifle bullet. 1 minute we've got left. I know you haven't given up on that. You're still trying to raise some money.
I'm still raising money. I've, it's been tough during this period of time with COVID, and I hate to ask people, but everybody understands what we're doing. This thing is across all lines. Nobody cares who we give vests to, black, white, or green. We get donations from blacks. We get them from whites. We give vests to black officers. We give vests to white officers. This is about protecting police officers, period. And we go nowhere in the middle of this. Our goal is to protect these guys as much as we can so we never see another event like happened in 2016 in Baton Rouge.
Give everybody the web address if they want to make a contribution, large or small. You don't have to buy a whole vest.
No, we will take anything you're willing to give. This is CALEF, CALEF. .LA. That's the whole address, and you can jump on there and just see anything you need to see about what we do.
It'll make you feel good, folks.
$5, $10, $20, whatever
Absolutely.
you can afford.
Chief Pat Englade, we'll see you again, I'm sure. We thank you for being with us. Kevin and I will be on the Facebook Live podcast tomorrow morning, and then we'll be right back here on Thursday with another Exiles TV program for you. So in the meantime, try to stay dry for the next couple days and stay safe.
And may God bless. Take care of yourself.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.